Hello, Bernard.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Yeah, no, not too bad, yes.
Okay.
Batting along.
We're going to have a quick little chat about yet another local government reorganisation.
Yes.
And you're the person who was actually here for the last one.
Yes, I was a district councillor 1974, is it, when we were when it was Felixstowe Urban District Council, and then I was elected to the new Suffolk coastal one, where we shadowed the former urban for a year while we got ourselves organised.
So it was just for a year, was it?
If that.
Oh,
but
right,
it was a while.
Yeah.
Because we had no offices or anything. Everything had to be sort of organised.
Oh, right.
It's a bit it's
Chaotic. Probably be the same.
Yes. They didn't know. They had to build a new set of offices.
Right.
And they were just all everything was waved through.
Just like that.
Except the bicycle sheds. For some reason, we spent more time on the extra unplanned bicycle sheds than we actually did waving through the cost of a complete council block.
But the reorganisation then was done on the basis that it would drive efficiency, reduce costs.
Yeah, same arguments.
Same old story.
Same arguments as now.
And the real question was, has anybody actually looked to see whether it ever did that?
Yeah.
Did it ever achieve its purpose?
Well,
not that we know.
Well, it obviously didn't, because they changed it again.
Well, 50 years later.
Yeah.
Here we go again. So on the same bit. Now, the thing, I was elected obviously much later than that. I was elected back in 2003.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling it was either 2004 or 5. Unbelievably, Felixstowe Town Council was persuaded that it would be in its interest to purchase back from Suffolk Coastal District Council its own town hall.
Yeah, well,
and they took out a 25-year mortgage to buy it back. I was quite stunned.
No, but everything that was Felixstowe Urban District Council became the property of Suffolk Coastal.
Quite.
Including the council offices, which were what we call the town hall.
Absolutely.
So, but we had to buy it back again.
Yeah, but I think what added insult to injury was the fact not only did they have to raise a mortgage, a very good rate, I must admit, but they also had to raise additional money to repair the building, because Suffolk Coastal had singularly failed to maintain the building.
Yeah, and
I sat in disbelief in the council chamber, being told that this was going to be a wonderful deal for the residents of Felixstowe.
Yes, it didn't fit the disability rules either, so they had to remodel much.
And put in a lift and all the rest of it. No. Right, that's sort of the past, but now here we are in 2025. With, I think, just a one paragraph in the Labour manifesto about local government and reorganisation. And then suddenly a number of councils were given the option to fast track the creation of unitary authorities.
Out of the blue.
Well, pretty much, I think so.
No, it was out of the blue,
But the fast tracking seemed whatever. And what is a bit concerning was, I don't know the reason why Suffolk and Norfolk put their hands up and said, we'd like to be fast-tracked. I mean, it wasn't as if they were ready or whatever. Anyway, so since then, we've had a white paper issued, there's been a lot of discussion, and we've ended up with various choices. So do you want to go through those, or will I?
Well, no, because you have been part of the discussion at East Suffolk. Of it, and us lowly people in the town council, we had a little discussion about it, but it meant nothing, because it's East Suffolk who actually writes.
Well, I'll try to encapsulate it as much as I can. Basically,
and I'll interrupt you.
Yeah, you interrupt as often as you want.
Yeah.
Anyway, the white paper, its basic 2 key points was that they were looking for unitary authorities that needed to be a population of 500,000 or more, and the second key guidance to the existing county councils and district councils was that they should use the existing district councils and borough councils to be the building block of any subsequent unitary authority. So those were the two key issues. Lots of discussion happened. Unsurprisingly, the county council said the best thing that Suffolk could be would be just one Suffolk. Yeah. So that would be one authority based wherever that would control all of Suffolk. And its population of 764,000 people.
Which is the most logical one. I'm not saying it's my favourite one, but for somebody sitting in Whitehall, I think that is the obvious choice.
Which is really worrying.
Yes.
Because but going on from that, let's give you what the others were. The districts and boroughs, and I've never really had an adequate explanation, have decided that they will actually break up the districts to create 3 unitary authorities, and there's a western one, a north and eastern one, and then one that we would be impacted by, which is a geographical spread from Felixstowe, Ipswich to Hadley. So you're breaking up Baybury, you're breaking up Suffolk or East Suffolk, and the average population, looking at what we've got there, so you'd be looking at something like 260,000, 270,000, which is just about half of what the Westminster is advising you need to be. So I think the probability of 3 is remote, because I think the benefits would be a long time coming if they ever did. But this is the final point. In the final endorsement that went to the Secretary of State, one of our councillors, Lee Reeves, added into our submission from East Suffolk was that he should consider the probability of an East and West Suffolk in addition to the county suggestion and the boroughs and districts. So that was pretty much a Lib Dem submission on East Suffolk Council's bit. So
when I came into Suffolk, that was it. In 1969, there was an East Suffolk and a West Suffolk. Oh, and an Ipswich, of course.
Yes.
3. It was 3 actually.
Was it? So Ipswich was its own authority, was it?
Ipswich was. Oh yes, it's always been its own borough.
So did it have to deliver education and health and all the other things that they need to?
I think Ipswich is definitely doomed, if you want to use the word doom, to come into.
It's going to come into something.
It's a shame really that they didn't make it a city, because if it was made a city when Colchester and Chelmsford got their citywoods,
I don't even
I reckon that they might have been left alone a bit more than what they are now.
But the population's against it.
I don't use the word just, but they are just a borough council.
But if you're looking for a population of 500,000, that's a lot of people. And the thing that I'm really concerned in, if it was purely being done on supposed efficiency and money-saving terms, then you are going to be looking at a single council, supposedly adequately representing 764,000 folk. Now, I've got no idea what the ideal size of number of councillors would be for a council. But assuming you had a council that actually had 100 councillors, 100 councillors, right? That's a hell of a lot to look at. Each of those would be representing something like 8,000 people, and they'd be representing them from a point of view of their dustbins, potholes, health, education, the whole gamut of local authority services. So you're really looking at if that's what you end up with, that those who would get elected as that type of councillor would virtually need to be 24/7 as a councillor, or you accept that a new unitary council would be mainly officer run. So what worries me, and I currently represent parishes, as you know, very small to quite big parishes, but nevertheless they've all got their separate idiosyncrasies and what they wish to be doing.
I was just interrupt there.
Where are they going to get a word?
You just said right the way through from dustbins to your health, etc.
Yeah.
It's a pity that we've got town councils, and I'm sure that there could be some devolution back down the line for them.
Oh, they've been asking for that for years.
Yeah.
You know, what would you like to take on?
I mean, a lot of the planning, I've just come from this morning, I was at a planning meeting, and all the planning decisions that we made this morning could have been made by us, and there would have been really no argument unless there was an appeal or something. But
you're an advisory. You're an advisory role.
Yes.
That's all you are. You have no power.
But what I'm saying is that the planning, simple planning. You know, somebody wants an extension.
Yes.
I can't see that you have to involve a super duper authority. You know, with 700,000 population on somebody who wants to change their windows in a listed building.
I don't think they are talking about having area committees and area because it would need. But what the key point is, how many councillors? If you currently we've had a problem for quite a long time. If you're thinking of being certainly if you're going to be a district or a borough councillor, your commitment has become greater and greater over the years. It's much greater than it ever was before, and it's becoming. There are much more commitments, bigger budgets, more activities are involved.
Well, how many district councils are there at the moment? If you count
5.
Ipswich, 5 in counting Ipswich. 5, and each one's got about 50 councillors, which on average.
Yes, about that sort
of
figure.
50. So that's
and the county's got.
They
used to be 80, and they've been.
That's 250 councillors.
Well, taking the county councillors as well. So you're looking at about over 300 councillors representing that number, 7,000.
So that's not obviously off, is it? That's,
so you're going to cut that down to 50.
Well, you can't. That's what I'm saying.
Well, but how this is the point.
Too much for one man to see to.
So, how do you have the benefit of scale, but you retain the actual benefit of proper representation?
This is
and the big key point is currently, if you look at the scheduling of meeting times and where they're held and the rest of it, somebody who's holding down a full-time job, somebody who has aged parents, somebody who has got children and a job, the commitments on them are pretty huge anyway. But to actually consider to stand to be a elected councillor is a very big ask. And the problem that then effectively ends up with folks like us who are retired and are prepared to commit the time. People with a private income. You're going way back to sort of the Edwardian period, aren't you? When the only people who could be
posh people.
And what I'm worried about is how do you get that connection with the people that elect you? Because I think 100 councillors would be a very unwieldy council anyway.
It would be a paid job like an MP, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it's a full-time job.
It is a full-time job, so you'd have to be paid.
Certainly those who would be in cabinet or deputy cabinet would have to be, adequately recompensed because it would have to be and is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So
when I mean paid, I mean properly paid.
Yeah, well, you get lots. Yes. But we're being told this is to increase efficiency and reduce cost, and I find it sort of odd that the bit about the cost is you actually cut back the spread of representation, don't you? Because your divisions get bigger. I think when I was first elected for Westward, I had something like 2,000 residents. You're now looking at 4 times that number.
You have to ask yourself,
doing everything for them.
With this, let's assume. Let's say even so 2. What you're actually arguing for is 2, aren't you?
Yes.
2.
I think you'd end up with much more representative.
1 it is logical because you have everything. You only have 1 social services or customer first sort of thing. You'd have 1 expert that which is what it is now, really, for the county.
But wait a minute, there was a period,
yes,
and this was not that far back, when Suffolk Coastal existed and Waveney existed, and what we ended up deciding is we'd have a joint chief executive and a joint deputy and a head of planning that covered both. So if that is the case, why couldn't Suffolk actually have a joint head of things like education, things like highways, so things that were whatever, and they would then report effectively. Well, no, what I'm saying is it happens. It's already been proved that it worked,
because
worked.
That is actually other than the fact that Ipswich is going to be involved,
right?
That will be new, but otherwise, that's what happened before.
It did.
East and South. They did all the dustbins and the. The coastal care,
you got coastal defences,
resorts, etc. And the county did all that.
The whole bit.
And that is really the logical way, because then you've got how many? You would have fewer councillors responsible to less.
Exactly
people.
That, which is what you want.
Well, I said the wrong word there. Less. I meant manageable number of people.
Yeah. So what I would like to know from Westminster, what is the actual ideal number of residents any councillor within a unitary authority should be represented, and I would like them also, because most of these have been implemented in urban settlements, which very dense, very whatever. I've not seen what the figures should be for a rural community, and I mean Suffolk is very rural, isn't it?
Still, so, just about, yes.
Well, it is,
yes,
yes. And really, granted, there is more folk moving into towns than there is, but that actually makes more difficulties for rural communities because they've got less and less services. I mean, the bus service in Suffolk is a joke. Well, sorry, for the rural communities, in lots of cases, it's non-existent anymore. No, it's not there. So there you go, folks. That's sort of a brief. But I suppose that one thing I'd like to throw into the mix, we are a very centralised and controlled government, local and national nation. And one thing you may recall, we used to have a regional government that used to look at long-term projects such as the transport network, the water networks, etc., etc. The Conservative government, in its wisdom, decided to get rid of rural government because they thought they could do it all from Westminster. And I suppose you could say, consequences of that, we haven't had a reservoir built for 30 odd years. We do need a wider we need to look at the things that link us and what we need to be doing in concert, and I'm not sure that the unitaries are going to deliver that. We need to be wider, don't we?
You said
it might be the mayor.
Yes,
might be the mayor, which has been delayed for 2 years.
You said water, but gas, not gas, electricity.
I
mean, that's changing as we speak.
It is,
Yes, I mean, now we've got offshore, we've got pylons going to and fro, another atomic power station. It's electricity is changed out of all ways. The old London Electricity Board and the South East Electricity Board.
Central Electricity Generation.
I don't think they can work.
But they planned for the whole nation. We now have a hodgepodge, which actually ends up not necessarily delivering the service, but costing us all more than. Anyway, folks, is there anything else, Bernard, you want to throw into the mix?
Well, no, but my vote
would
be for
28th. Yes. 27th, 28th of March is when the Minister for Communities will let us know which of the 3 possible choices he may go for.
Yeah, the logic is one, but the humanity, the view is 2.
I would concur. I think my 2 is also based on the fact you would have a commonality of all coastal defences. You would actually have the road network. You'd have industry. You got all the offshore, and I think carving up into 3 in the way that's being proposed isn't for the benefit for Suffolk, but it's certainly I think the residents of Felixstowe and Hadley would be concerned about effectively being dictated to by Ipswich, which is probably what it would because of their population size. So there you go, folks. We'll come back to you when we know, sometime in late March, as to what's being proposed and what's next. But there will be, as Bernard said at the beginning of this, there will be a shadow election, won't there?
Yeah, another election, folks. And,
So keep your polling cards.
Yeah.
You need them quite often.
And your
quite soon.
identity cards. Yes.
Bye for now.
Cheerio.
See you the next time. Bye bye.
Bye.